All right, friends. It is 4th of July week, the exact midpoint of the year, and I am excited to jump on with you. And thank you for coming on and not taking vacation on a Tuesday, but I'm proud of you all. The thing that we're going to talk about today, I mentioned it on last week's Tuesday call. About the the poisoned arrow parable, but I didn't talk much about it. I think I did on this call. Um, but the poisoned arrow talks about the Buddha once told the story of a man who had been shot with a poisoned arrow. And as the man laid, his family and friends called for a doctor to remove the arrow to treat him. But the man refused any help until he had answers to the question: Who shot me? Was it a warrior or a farmer? What was his name? What kind of bow did he use? What was the arrow made from? Was the tip iron or bone? What kind of feathers were used, hawk or peacock? The Buddha said that if the man instead of on the but the Buddha said that if the man insisted on knowing all these details before allowing the arrow to be removed, he will die before ever getting the answer. So again, a man is shot with an arrow, a poisoned arrow. There are doctors and family and friends trying to help him out. And as he's laying there with a poisoned arrow, he refuses. The story goes on, it's much longer, but the story, he refuses to let anybody touch the arrow until he knows who shot me. Was it somebody noble or was it a farmer? Who shot me? What kind of tip did they use? And he kept insisting on knowing everything about the arrow that was used to shoot him before he would ever let the arrow get removed. And the Buddha then said that if the man insisted on knowing all of these details before allowing the arrow to be removed, he would die before ever getting an answer. The parable reminds us not to get lost in endless speculation and intellectual distractions, especially when we're faced with suffering or difficulty. We often focus on abstract or philosophical questions about the universe, the afterlife, or why things happen the way that they do, while ignoring the immediate and practical steps that can help us heal and find peace. The Buddha taught that what matters most is addressing our suffering directly, understanding its cause, seeing that if it can end, and walking the path that leads to freedom. Which then goes on to where he talks about getting shot with the second arrow. Life is constantly shooting arrows at you. It's going to happen. There are two arrows that come. The first arrow is what happens to you: an illness, your car breaks down, your dog gets sick. Those are the first arrows, the things that we can't control. You go on a listing appointment and you just don't have it and you lose to somebody else. Your buyer walks away at the last second. The financing doesn't happen. These are all first arrows that come. And it's okay. We're going to get shot with first arrows. We're going to get shot with them. This is a very hard industry. Where we fail is allowing ourselves to stand in the same place and get shot with the second arrow. Meaning that while pain and suffering has happened, we don't do anything to remove that arrow, and we just sit there and say, well, what could I have done differently? What was so special about that other agent that beat me? Why did my car have to break down on my way to my first ever listing appointment? Why do these buyers not like me? Is it the way I dress? Is it the way I talk? Is it all of these things? And we allow ourselves to stand in the same spot and get shot with the second arrow, which just kills us. So when you think about this industry, understand that there are bad things that are going to happen. You are dealing with the general public doing the most emotional thing in their life right now. You also have a life going on. And your clients expect you to be on your A game, and they deserve it because this is the most emotional thing. But you are going to get shot with arrows. Bad things are going to happen to you. Where I see many agents fail is they sit there and dwell on them. They don't take any steps. Why does the market have to be like this? Let me understand everything about the market before I can go out and talk to people. Don't allow yourself to get shot with the second arrow. I wanted to dive into that a little bit more because I talked about it briefly on last week's call. two arrows come. You can't control the first, you can't control the second. The second one is your mindset and your actions. What did you hear when you hear that story? Or did it not make any sense and it was a bunch of gibberish?
Um, it honestly makes sense because it is easy for people to get caught up and dwell in things that happen instead of pushing forward. And if you don't push forward, you're really just going to keep going backwards at the end of the day. So, I mean, honestly, that resonates with life, period, not just real estate. So, I mean, I like that
Yeah.
story.
What else? One of the things that we love to do as real estate agents is we really love to plan how good we're going to be. We love to put the plan and say, okay, if I do these things, I can accomplish this. And at Keller Williams, we have the economic model and the lead gen model that will tell you the perfect plan, but the perfect plan never survives first contact with reality. And that's okay. Put that into your plan. Life is going to happen. You're not going to be perfect every single day. You have 6 more months in this year. I don't know where you are, whether you're ahead of your goals or you're behind your goals. I truly don't care. But you have 6 more months in this year to either continue to press the skinny pedal or put the keys in the ignition and start freaking driving. Because we all come out in January 1st and we're making our calls and we're doing the open houses, and then somebody gets sick. We get shot with an arrow, and then all of a sudden we find ourselves on July 1st saying, What happened? This year's shot. I'm the exact same spot that I was 6 months ago, or maybe worse. You have 6 more months to either continue to have the best year of your life or turn this year around. 6 months is a lot of time. What's really great about this industry is you are 90 days away from being exactly where you want to be. You make enough calls to this week, you talk to enough people, you contact your database, deals will start to flow. You're going to call it luck, but hey, dummies, it's just you doing the work that's required. I promised I wouldn't use the word dummies anymore like 6 months ago. And again, I'm in the exact same spot that I was. But I I personally deal with the when I have the perfect plan. If I showed you guys my plan is laid out perfectly and my calendar is perfect. And then when I get shot with that first arrow, I have to remind myself that I have to keep moving. Life plans will never survive first contact with reality. Has anybody ever heard the Navy SEALs talk about the raid on Bin Laden's compound? There's a really cool story about it they rehearsed this raid hundreds, if not thousands of times on a real life model of the compound. And they would rehearse it and they say, okay, well, what could go wrong? And then they go rehearse that. And okay, what could go wrong? And then they would go rehearse that. And one of the guys, the youngest guy in the room, said, okay, well, what if the helicopter crashed in the compound? And guess what happened the day of the raid? The helicopter crashed in the compound. But they had rehearsed it. They knew what to do. It's the planning while going and doing the activity. It's a checkpoint. We hear about the GPS checkpoint, right? If I want to drive from here to California and I don't want to use a map or a GPS, I'll get there eventually. Sure, right? Eventually I'll get there. Head west, but eventually I will get there. Now, if I use a map and I check it every 30 minutes, I'll get there quicker. Would we agree? Say yes. Now, if I put a GPS in place, would I get there the quickest? Right. That's your goals. That's your business plan. You put together a GPS at Keller Williams that tells you the exact necessary activities that you have to take to get to where you want to go. You don't check it July 1st after you put it together December 31st. You check it daily, weekly, monthly, and adjust accordingly. What's getting in the way? Okay, let's resolve that, move forward. But if we're only checking our plans and our goals every 6 months, guess what? You eventually, maybe you'll get there. Hopefully everybody on this call has goals and a plan to get them. Have a relationship with those goals. Be reviewing them every single day, because if you're not, when you get shot with the first arrow, you're going to lose sight of the goal. You're going to lose sight of the plan. You're not going to adjust your plan. And then you're going to look back and say, okay, wow, I'm really far off course. I left South Carolina and somehow I'm in Maine and I'm trying to go to California. What are you hearing? I see a lot of cameras on. I'm hoping I'm not just speaking gibberish.
I think for me, it's telling me to move and get it in motion and quit waking up every day and not knowing what I'm supposed to be doing. I have a plan, stick to it, get going.
Yeah. Steven, just do the work. Planning is just as important. It is just as important than the execution. Exactly. I heard a quote yesterday from Chris Williamson, and he talks about here is everything. He was reading an essay, and he said, "Here's everything. Here's a list of things that aren't actually doing the thing. Planning to do the thing is not doing the thing. Talking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Telling people that what things you're going to do is not doing the thing. Posting about doing the thing, but not actually doing the thing is the thing. Complaining about the thing not working is not doing the thing." And he just listed on for 15, 20 minutes. Reading this article is not doing the thing. You have to have a plan together, but you have to go do the thing. You're going to get shot with an arrow. Don't let you get off course. You've got a bigger plan than that. Control what you can control, which is how you respond to these things. Take it as a lesson and move forward. Anything else? Well, friends, we have 3 days until the 4th of July and the 4th of July weekend. If you're like me, you're mentally at the spot where your clients are taking off this week and they don't want to hear from you, baloney. Let's get out there, connect with more people. Every other real estate agent is taking off vacation. There are 7 of you on here who are with cameras on. I'm proud of you all. You're not on vacation. Your clients are not on vacation until Thursday. Go make contacts with them. Go meet new people. Go talk to people. And go make these last 6 months the best 6 months of your career. Does that sound good to everybody? Just give me thumbs up. Thank you. Care about you all. And I will see you next Tuesday.